Well, hello folks, my name's Ian and welcome to my channel. We'll go in the shed in a minute. It's been a week since I did my last video. And what a week it's been for me. It's more about about the fire extinguishers. I may have bit off more than I can chew. So as I was saying to the guy, I'm not paying for get fire extinguishers to be taken away. I'll get rid of them. And he said, well, I have to pay to get rid of them. So if you'll take them for free, I'll give them you. Well, I thought it was just like, yeah, of course, yeah, and I'll see if they turn up. Lots of people say they're going to give you things for free, and they never do. So I had the 23 fire extinguishers from work, and I've started playing with them, and I showed a little video of playing with the CO2, and I've had a few comments on that. A fine liner. I will mention him later on in this. I'm intending to do a more in-depth video. This is more of an update. So 23 brought them, gave some away, still had about 16, something like that. Let a few off. On Monday, he turned up with 48 fire extinguishers. And I came across a few issues. The water's easy to set off. The foam, and I'm going to do a foam one in a minute, set off. CO2's not a problem. Disappears. The water, the foam, that dries up. The powder, different kettle of fish altogether. Bicarbonate of soda, or sodium bicarbonate. Kind of done some research. I'll see some of the cylinders will have BC on, so that's bicarbonate of soda. Some have something else, ammonium bicarbonate, ammonium something potassiate. Anyway, kind of works out. You can they repurpose it into fertilizer. But more about that later on in the video. My shed's full of fire extinguishers. My secret location is full of fire extinguishers. And my car, I get these delivered to work, and it's not fair on the boss if I leave them at work. He's quite happy. I have them delivered at work. I don't want them clogging up the place. So over the last couple of days, I've had to bring them home. Tomorrow I'm off work. I'm going on a first aid course. So I've had to bring the rest of them home so nobody will whinge at me next week when I go in. Or even if the guy comes again tomorrow or the day after, Friday, and drops another batch off, at least there's none there to add to the pile. So for everyday Solars who said she wanted to see a boot full, well, kitching, it's money in the bank, you know. Very rough workings out is roughly a little over £1, maybe £1.25 per cylinder in scrap. Or if I take 4 cylinders, I get a kilo of brass and 12 kilos of iron. And iron has just dropped in price. Brass has just dropped £600 a tonne. Quite a lot, you know, dropped 60 pence a kilogram. Bright wire has dropped £150 a tonne. But every little helps in my case. So that was for everyday solace. But that's about I've not been bringing that many home because yesterday I brought home a washing machine as well. So it was a washing machine on one side and cylinders on the other. But for a fine liner, I'm going to set a foam cylinder off for you and get you set up on the tripod. Got the tripod set up. Last night I brought home a washing machine, just said had to be stripped there and then on the drive because there ain't nowhere in there. So there you can see, kept the motor and the case, the drum and the outer casing has been processed and is stored somewhere else. Now I was asked in a comment, I think on my last video when I was playing, he's about, guy says he's kept a washing machine motor, not sure what to do with it. Right, I did put a bit of a lengthy comment, but turn it around so you can see it. Right, an electric motor, how does it work? You've got a coil in there, you put electricity into a coil of wire, induces magnetism. Magnetism, opposites attract, like repel. So you've got a north and a north, it will repel. So you've got a north here and a north here, it's going to repel. Oh, a north here, north here, it's going to repel. But if you've got a north there and a south here, it's going to attract. So that will give you rotation. And they change that all the way around. So it rotates. You know, the north goes to the south, and then goes to the north, goes to the south. Right, but how do they get that? Alternating magnetism. Well, the answer's there, in an alternating current motor. Some motors, they have magnets built in, permanent magnets, and that's how that regulates it. Right, the problem with washing machine motors is they generate their own magnetic field. There's no magnets in here, so the strength of the electric motor is dependent upon the speed, the voltage going in. And what happens is this sensor at the back goes to the plug and goes to the circuit board, which regulates the voltage, the speed, to keep it constant. Or if you've got it on 900 spin, it'll make it go at 900. If you want 1200 spin, make it go at 1200. When you take one of these off, you haven't got that circuit board, so there's nothing to regulate the speed of the magnetism. I know I'm phrasing this a bit badly, but what happens if I can sort out which of those are the feeds, connect that, fire it up, and it'll start turning. You think, great, you've got yourself an electric motor. However, as it goes faster, with no regulation, it increases the magnetic pulses, which makes it go faster. Because it's going faster and it generates its own magnetic field, it changes the pulses of the magnetism faster, so it makes it go faster. So it's self-generating magnetic fields that makes it go faster and faster and faster. There's no controlling it. And you can see many videos on YouTube where they set these going unregulated, and eventually they get up to something stupid. I'm going to say something like 50,000 revs a minute. So the bearings burn out, the coils overheat, and they set on fire. And you can watch those on YouTube. Unregulated washing machine motors. However, the very clever people in China, because that just plugs out, and there's many a video. Oh, I can't get it out one-handed. There's many a video which will tell you which of those wires you need to connect to make this work and utilise for something else. So the very clever Chinese have created a motor controller it's the same size as that, and just plugs into that and goes to a potential a controller. So, and they're very cheap. I'm not saying pennies, but they're only a few pounds. They're not expensive. But you've got to, if you buy 10, I think they're about £3 each. So So you buy 10, 30 quid, including free postage from China. That allows you to use one of these washing machine motors for your own projects. Right, there we go. Bored you for that. Try and get myself up off the floor. I've been also on with another wood burner. There's the top and there's the bottom. So I've got to cut that and weld those together this weekend. And if you can see it, we've also got fire extinguishers already on the bench. Let's go and let one off. The point of all that was last night I came home, washing machine, quickly stripped it on the drive. You can't really tell because of the camera, but it's a little dirty. If I'm going to let a fire extinguisher off, well, it's foam, it's soapy water, so I might as well spray it all over here and clean the drive at the same time as wasting the foam. I do it so you don't have to. I'm actually doing this just for a fine liner. I hope you watch. Well, if I'm going to set a fire extinguisher off, I may as well put a fire out. So I've got my pan there with some thinners in again. I'm not lighting it this time so close. I'm going to use this. It made me jump last time. Right, I'll steady all this lot out. Let's clean my drive, set a fire and put a fire out. Pull the tag out, pull the pin out, and set the fire. There you go. Aye, aye, aye. Not going to be any fancy slow motion. Got to get the last dribbles out, haven't you? Right, all I got to do now is scrub the drive. So there we go. Waste not, want not. It's I gotta clean my drive up and I get to empty a cylinder. Now, you don't need any tools to get this top off. You just need a strong wrist. You need strong wrists. How you get strong wrists? Well, I don't know. As always, you just grip them tight between the thighs and there we go. Loose. And that is it. Turn it upside down because there's always a few dribbles left in. I'm not going to go in detail about this at the moment. That's for the video when I actually do the scrapping of the fire extinguishers. Right, I've got a car to empty. I've got a drive to hose down. and I've just got to find a place to put all those fire extinguishers. Right, it was a quickie. What's going to follow next is when I was at work, an fine liner. I know I've mentioned his name a lot, but he put a valid comment in. So we're going to nip back to work now, and we're going to talk about the powder ones. He gave me a suggestion, which I'd already done. It didn't pan out the way he thought it might. Right, I'll just end it at the end of that, and I'll see you over the weekend. Take care. A fine liner in the comments said, well, why don't you let the powder off in some water? You know, it's basically bicarbonate, bicarbonate, sodamate, sodium bicarbonate. Well, you know what I mean, I can't say it. Bicarbonate of soda, there we go. Some of it's also ammonium bicarbonate. I can't say bicarbonate, soda. Oh, spit it out again. Ammonium bicarbonate of soda. Sounds about right. Anyway, by the by, put it in water, let it off underwater. I thought about that, but I'm putting a lot of compressed gas into water. Anyway, we have this old grit bin. It has got a lid and it's full of water. So there's a gap there. I can stick the nozzle through that gap. I can close the lid and let it off. It's a good job really, because it does a lot of bubbling. Can't show you, but when I did, that is what happened. And it doesn't sink. It kind of goes like a crud on top, you know. But at least it doesn't go everywhere. Because believe you me, when you set that powder off, it's like setting a smoke bomb off. Right, now several of the cylinders are full but don't hold any gas pressure. So what I've done there, put them on here, knock the valve off, then you've got to get it out, and it won't come out of that tiny hole. So you've got to cut the top off about an inch or so down, just over the bevel, and then you can tip it into something. I'd recommend a plastic bag, but I didn't have one. So I filled this up, about four of them, 5 of them. I filled this 25 litre tin, empty tin, and it comes out and it's surprisingly solid. But as soon as you touch it, boosh, look at it go. Reminds me of lycopodium powder, you know, when we did chemistry at school. Look at that, you don't have to do that, just a little big. Put that lid back on. See, it's all going down there as a big dust cloud.